Hello, heathens and heretics, and vampiric moviegoers. This week marks the celebration of Easter 2025, and I just watched the new horror film Sinners by Ryan Coogler. This film is making huge waves throughout the social media universe, and for a fair reason. It is a decent vampire film. But before we move on, beware, fair warning. If you don't want movie spoilers, then you should not be here. Now, while I did very much enjoy the movie Sinners, halfway through I realized that I have in fact seen all of this before. Back in January of 1996, it was a film called From Dusk Till Dawn by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. From start to finish, these are practically the exact same vampire movie. Let's create our own outline to analyze this a bit. The films begin with two brothers who are criminals. They are on the run and hiding out after committing some crimes. They are both trying to reach their safety nets. And in the process, they gather a group of seemingly innocent people to join them on their journey to freedom. The first and second and third acts of these films primarily center on character building and story. The tone of the first three acts of these two films is significantly less horror and way more crime drama, with little to no actual horror elements at the forefront until the fourth and final act. In both films, the tonal shift doesn't occur until after an epic music score and memorable dance routine takes place. I can't stress this enough. Both films do a wonderful job of creating an amazing musical number with a legendary dance sequence rarely experienced on film. It is at this point that both films shift gears to a horror spectacle where vampires finally take center stage. In both films, the poop doesn't really hit the fan until a vampiric woman bites one of the brothers, turning him into a bloodthirsty demon. Some quick callouts. In both films, one of the brothers drinks fluid coming out of the female vampire's mouth prior to her killing them. In Dusk Till Dawn, that liquid is alcohol. In Sinners, that liquid is saliva. Side note, if given the choice, I would choose to drink the alcohol over someone's saliva every single time. Ew. Also, both films have a trio folk band playing some clever music, and the folk band is actually a trio of vampires. And in both films, the bar is the fortress protecting our cast of characters from the vampiric horde. It isn't until one of our hero characters makes a frantic decision that allows the horde to enter, after which we get all the blood, gore, and violence, as well as all the main character death scenes. The endings of these two films is also quite similar. A young member of the group survives and leaves to exist on their own, while one of the brothers remains outside waiting for a criminal organization to arrive. Granted, in one film, the surviving brother joins the criminal organization, and in the other film, the brother kills the criminal organization members. But that is one of the few moments where these films diverge from their immense similarities. Another moment of divergence takes place at the very end. In Dusk Till Dawn, we never know what comes of Juliette Lewis's character after surviving. But in Sinners, we do see how the life of Miles Caton's character plays out after surviving. I am sure that there are other similarities I may have missed. However, there is little doubt that Sinners has an overwhelming number of one-for-one substitutes taken from Dusk Till Dawn. Please note that this analysis is in no way meant to be interpreted as a criticism of Sinners. There is no doubt that even From Dusk Till Dawn itself has borrowed heavily from other films. The vampire mythos is hardly unique after all. And Tarantino has often called out his inspirations and throwback scenes in his own work. One good example of how Tarantino openly borrows from other films is the manner in which Daryl Hannah's character dies at the end of Kill Bill Volume 2, where she is essentially on the floor having intense, violent convulsions. This is very much an intentional throwback to her character death in the older film Blade Runner, released in 1982. Quick shout out to Daryl Hannah's performance in the film Splash, by the way, where she played a gorgeous mermaid. In my opinion, her beauty in that film has no equal. That film ruined my youth. I was so mesmerized by her immaculate beauty that no other woman could catch my eye. Daryl Hannah haunted my dreams for years. It was impossible for me to look at any body of water without praying that she would magically emerge in all of her breathtaking glory. To this day, I cannot rewatch that film, Splash, for fear of falling in love with this woman again. But I digress. Sinners, From Dusk Till Dawn, I like to think that these are two identical stories taking place in two entirely different universes. The similarities are simply too vast for me to consider them different films. Yet both deserve a watch and a positive review. Bravo to them both. If you made it this far, thank you for your time. Remember, only tip for good service and always courtesy flush. Stay healthy.